We are discussing third chapter, 25th shloka today. Sakta karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuriyad vidvams tatha shaktas chikirshur loka sangraham. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act but without attachment for the sake of leading people on the right path. Okay, so the Krishna is saying that ignorant people, they perform their duties with attachment to result. Okay, so a person in Krishna consciousness, that means a person who is a devotee of Krishna, and a person who is not in Krishna consciousness, that means who is not a devotee of Krishna. Krishna conscious person means a person who is a devotee of Krishna, that means who is conscious about Krishna always. Always he is conscious that he is the servant of Krishna. That is called Krishna conscious person. And he is always aware about Krishna, like health conscious. Person always take care of his health. Whatever he does, he is careful about his health. Money conscious, he is always careful about his money. So Krishna conscious, he is always careful about Krishna. What Krishna will think? If I do this, if I do that, what Krishna will think, like that. So a person in Krishna consciousness and a person who is not in Krishna consciousness are differentiated by different desires. A Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not conducive to development of Krishna consciousness. Any activity which is not conducive for Krishna bhakti, that we should not do. Whatever we know that if I do this, it will affect my bhakti, we should not do that. Anukulena sankalpa pratikulena varjita. Whatever is favorable to bhakti, do it. Whatever is not favorable, pratikula, varjita, don't do it. He may even act exactly like the ignorant person who is too much attached to material activities, but one is engaged in such activities for the satisfaction of his sense gratification, whereas the other is engaged for the satisfaction of Krishna. So the person, both devotee and non-devotee, both may be doing the same activity. So from external point of view, it may look same. He also goes to job, another one also goes to job, they works in the same office. He also studies the same course, another one also studies the same course. But one is doing for his own sense gratification. That if I pass this exam and I get this degree, I'll get job, I'll get money, I'll enjoy life nicely. But devotee thinks, I have to do this as the service of Krishna. If I do this degree successfully, I'll get a nice job, I will get money, I can use that money for the service of Krishna, I can give donation in the temple, I can feed devotees, I can buy flower garland for Krishna, I can buy nice dresses for Krishna, I can offer nice bhoga to Krishna. So I can please Krishna in many, many ways. So that's how he thinks. Therefore, the Krishna conscious person is required to show the people how to act and how to engage the results of action for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. That is Karma Yoga. Okay, engaging the results of action for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. So you do your activity and whatever result comes, engage that in the service of Krishna. Okay. So that's why many devotees, they work nicely and their result they offer to Krishna. They engage the result in the service of Krishna in preaching work. A lot of donation they give so that the preaching can go on. Right. So the sannyasis, they are doing preaching. So they are not doing any job. So their maintenance is done by grihasthas. So they work and that result they give in the preaching. And they have deities in the home. So husband, wife, children, everybody worship the deity, they decorate the deity, they offer bhoga to deities, everything. So like that they worship. So all the result of their job, their activities, it is engaged in the service of Krishna. So that is called Krishna consciousness. Okay. So na buddhi vedam janiyed jnanam karma sangenam joshiyet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samachara. So as not to disrupt the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Krishna is saying that you should not induce them to stop work. Okay. Ignorant men attached to the fruitive result of prescribed duties, if you stop it will be difficult. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of Krishna consciousness. So just don't ask them to stop everything. Just engage them in the service of Krishna. So gradually they will be elevated. Vedaisha sarvera hame vedya. That is the end of all Vedic rituals. Okay, so all the Vedic rituals are for one purpose. For what? To know Krishna. All rituals, all performance of sacrifices and everything that is put into the Vedas, including all direction for material activities, are meant for understanding Krishna. Vedaisya sarvera hame vedya. Who is the ultimate goal of life? Krishna. But because the conditioned souls do not know anything beyond sense gratification, they study the Vedas to that end. Because people know only one idea, how to gratify the senses. So even in Vedas they find that only. But through fruitive activities and sense gratification regulated by Vedic rituals, one is gradually elevated to Krishna consciousness. So because anyway he is attempting to sense gratification, but he is doing under the rules and regulation of Vedas, so in that way he is following the instruction of Krishna, so he will be gradually elevated, slow but he will progress. So therefore a realized soul in Krishna consciousness should not disturb others in their activities or understanding, but he should act by showing how the results of all work can be dedicated to the service of Krishna. So we should not tell them, those people who are engaged in materialistic life too much, we should not say stop everything. No, we just show them how you are engaging everything in the service of Krishna. So they will be inspired by seeing you. How you are doing things. You are also working, you are also having family, children, everything. So how you are engaging everything in the service of Krishna, how you are managing everything. So like that you show them and you engage them little service. Call them for temple, ask them to do little service. Like that when you engage them, they will get little purification and elevation, and they will be gradually come to the platform of Krishna consciousness. The learned Krishna conscious person may act in such a way that the ignorant person working for sense gratification may learn how to act and how to behave. Because all of a sudden if you ask him to stop everything and come and join and all those things, he will not be able to do that. Even if he does, he will go back. So it's very difficult. So gradually we should do that. Okay, how to act, how to behave, everything should be taught to him. Although the ignorant man is not to be disturbed in his activities, a slightly developed Krishna conscious person may directly be engaged in the service of the Lord without waiting for other Vedic formulas. Okay. So completely ignorant person should not be disturbed in his activities, and he should be gradually engaged in the service of Krishna. But if a person is slightly developed, he understands a little bit, and then if you engage him directly in the service of Krishna, then there is no need of some other Vedic rituals and all. Okay. So no need to wait for this thing is not done, so he cannot do. No, you can directly engage him in the service of Krishna. Okay, that's how Prabhupada when he engaged many devotees directly in the service of Krishna, and then they got purified and they become very great devotees. For this fortunate man, there is no need to follow the Vedic rituals, because by direct Krishna consciousness, one can have all the results one would otherwise derive from following one's prescribed duties. So this is so, Prabhupada is saying he is very fortunate. Why? Because he is directly engaged in the service of Krishna. So since he is directly engaged in Krishna consciousness, then it is understood that all the other prescribed duties are done for him. Okay. Prakrte kriyamani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Very famous shloka. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, ahankar vimulatma, thinks himself the doer of activities, kartahamiti manyate, that are inactually carried by the three modes of material nature, prakriti kriya manani, carried out by the three modes of material nature, gune karmani sarvasa. So everything is done by prakriti, by the three modes, but living entity, because he is influenced under false ego, thinks that actually he is doing everything. Kartaham, I am the doer. Two persons, one in Krishna consciousness. So in this continuous verses, this description, this comparison is going on. Two persons. So the two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness, working on the same level, may appear to be working on the same platform, but there is a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He thinks that I am the every doer, I am Karta, I am the doer of everything. Why is he thinking like that? Because he is influenced by material false ego. Ignorance. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. Okay, Maya Dakshin Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Prakriti is doing everything and under the supervision of Krishna. The materialistic person has no knowledge that ultimately he is under the control of Krishna. You don't know that ultimately he is under the control of Krishna. The person in false ego takes all credit for doing everything independently, and that is a symptom of his nescience. Okay, maximum 99% people you will find in the world like this only. They glorify themselves. I did this, I did this, I did this. Okay. So I was seeing one interview of any very famous devotee in ISKCON, very great devotee, very senior. So this interviewer said that we had the record that you did this, you did this, you did this project, that project in your temple. Many projects are successful. Many successful projects you did. So how did you do that and all this thing? So he asked. So that Prabhuji was saying that from you only I am hearing that I did this thing. But for me it is all seva. What I know only one word, that I did seva. That's it. And you are giving different names. So that's the attitude of devotee, that I just want to do seva, that's it. Whatever it is, I will do it. For him it is not a difference. For him everything is seva, because everything is going to please Krishna. Okay. So he does not, Prabhupada is writing here that he does, this person who is in the false ego, out of false ego, he thinks that he is doing everything. Okay, so he does not know that this gross and subtle body is that. So he thinks, this person thinks that he is doing everything. But devotee thinks that I am just doing service to Krishna. And that also because the mercy of Krishna. It is the great mercy of Guru and Krishna that they are engaging me in the service. So that's what that Prabhuji was saying. That it is because of Prabhupada, because of Guru Maharaj, I am engaged. Somehow by their mercy I was doing, otherwise I have no qualification. Right? So that is the devotee's attitude. But non-devotee thinks that I am only doing everything. He does not know that this gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature, under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such his bodily and mental activities should be engaged in the service of Krishna. That is the order of Krishna. Okay, so he don't know that my body, gross body, subtle body, everything is created by material nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such his bodily and mental activities should be engaged in Krishna consciousness. Okay, because Krishna only provided all the facilities, because Krishna provided all the facility, so we have to serve Krishna with these facilities. Okay, Rishikesh Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So these senses are given by Krishna, so we should use the senses in the service of the Rishikesha. Rishika means Indriya, Isha means the controller, God. So he is the controller of the Indriyas, senses, so we should serve him by our senses. So all the facilities to us is provided by Krishna. So So we should serve Krishna by all these facilities, whether they are facilities in the terms of our bodily strength, or our financial strength, or whatever. Like a servant, because we are all servant, right? So like a servant who works at, like you have a maid or a servant, so you provide all the facility to him. You give him kitchen, you give him all these things so that he will cook for you, like that. You give him washing powder and everything so that he will wash your clothes. So like that, Krishna have given all the facilities to us. So with these special facilities, we should serve Krishna. The ignorant man forgets that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Rishikesha, or the master of the senses of the material body, for due to his long misuse of the senses in sense gratification, he is factually bewildered by the false ego. Because of so long time, Jiva is under the false ego and engaged in the misusing the senses by sense gratification. So he is factually bewildered by the false ego, which makes him forget his eternal relationship with Krishna. So too much sense gratification will make us forget our eternal relationship with Krishna, and because of that only we are in this material world. Okay. तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयो गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification. Who? The one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. So the knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He understands that I am not supposed to be in this material world. I am supposed to be in the spiritual world, and I am supposed to serve Krishna, not the Maya. He knows his real identity as part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realizes that somehow or other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He should serve Krishna. He understands that. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness. So because he understands, so he therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. So that is the solution. If we want to become detached with the material activities, then we have to engage ourselves in the service of Krishna and the activities of Krishna consciousness. That's why there are a lot of activities created inside the temple. Okay, cooking, cleaning, and decorating, preaching, writings, many things, making garlands, many things. So morning to evening there are a lot of activities to do if you are in Bhakti Yoga. So he knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Who? This person, devotee. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. He is not disturbed by any kind of trouble. He considers everything as the mercy of Krishna, that it is because of my past karma I am suffering, but because Krishna being merciful, he is reducing my problems. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows the absolute truth in three different features, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, is called a Tattvavid, for he knows also his own factual position in relationship with the Supreme. Okay, so you understand that. So here from 25th to 28, the attached person and detached person, or devotee or non-devotee, this kind of comparison is given. So compares ignorant person work with attachment, self-realized person work without attachment. Why? To set the example and lead people on the right path. Okay. And what is the main differentiation between the attached worker and the detached worker is desire. Okay. So one is desiring for sun's gratification and one is desiring for Krishna's happiness. So difference in consciousness of material consciousness and the Krishna consciousness. The ignorant person and the knower of the absolute truth, the bhakt or the person who knows absolute truth. Okay. So there is this different explanation is given by Prabhupada, that who is detached, what is his consciousness, and 27 shloka talk about the attached worker who is in the ignorance, and 28 shloka talks about the detached worker who is in the knowledge of absolute truth. Okay. Now, if a person in knowledge is expected to set an example, then why don't they set an example of renunciation? So most people are not qualified to follow the example of renunciation. Everybody cannot do that. If an attached person renounces worldly responsibilities, he will eventually try to fulfill desires through irresponsible means. Okay. So that is why renunciation is not recommended for everyone. Okay. Okay. So how a detached person relates to a man in ignorance, that we will see in the tomorrow's class. Okay. So 3.25 and 27 and 28. Okay. They are related verses with the common theme, that differences between the attached and detached worker. And 3.26 and 3.29, they deal with another common theme, which is how a detached person deals with an attached person. Okay. So first, the difference between detached person and attached person, and now next section is how detached person deals with attached person. So like if you are detached, then how you have to deal with the attached one, like your other materialistic people. Okay. So that we will discuss tomorrow, 3.29. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Anantara Shri Bhagavad ki jai. Anantara Shri ki jai.